Good evening, everyone. I hope you and your families are doing great and are safe. Although I'm not sure if you are also well off with your jobs. Yes, because we have been hearing a lot now in news wherein major MNCs, Uber, Ola, Boeing, IBM, they are downsizing their employees and even cutting off their salaries. But the stress is not over yet. When it comes to freshers, they have so much hardships with recent placement scenarios. What about them? So, with this frustration, aggravation, stress, and all your questions in your head, I, Shivali Gupta, moderator for today's webinar, welcome you all in our third session to get through with today's job essentialities. So, with this, I would now like to acquaint you all with our guest speaker, who is a founder and career consultant, Mr. G.S. Kumar. He has been helping people to find remote and flexible jobs through his career advice and coaching solutions. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Shivali.
Meanwhile, audience, if you have any questions related to career, jobs, you can simply put them in the live chat box and we'll address those questions later in the Q&A round. So, over to you, sir.
Thanks for that note, Shivali, and good evening, everyone. I'm absolutely delighted to speak to all the audience who are into job seeking or graduation or unemployment, whatever it is. So I'm here to talk about a lot of insights on the industry's trends, job hiring trends, and what kind of opportunities are open during COVID and after COVID, all that kind of stuff. And maybe giving you insight more into the positive side rather than the negative side. So in the interest of time, I have prepared a PPT where I'll walk you through the every steps of the information. And end of the session, we will have a Q&A session based on your industry, domain, and graduations. So I'm just sharing you the PPT right away. So let me start with this topic. So get that job, new career opportunities. Let's start with this very positive note and have some opportunities in place. So you will be knowing about these steps. Like first one is current hiring trends and how to prepare yourself. Second thing is best platforms for internships, jobs, and skills. Third will be methods to improvise your resume and LinkedIn. And the fourth will be tool to handle stress and anxiety. All right. So the organizational formation is like this. So first is the presentation, the current presentation. Second is the Q&A session where we will be open for questions on the current hiring market. Third will be the relaxation and meditation session. The timing to which it has been allotted is 20 to 30 minutes of presentation, 10 minutes of Q&A, and 20 minutes of meditation session. Now, let's start with the key facts about COVID-19 because there are a lot of assumptions and there is always a lot of confusions because of this many information which we are hearing through social media, through TV channel, through other rumors, all that. But let's get into the real insights. First of all, there are a lot of unknown factors. Number one will be, see, the virus itself, it is unknown. It is not something which is very familiar or somebody have an experience or somebody can give some insight about that. There is nothing that kind of a sort. Second thing is, The effectiveness of containment efforts are unknown, though government are taking a lot of steps, but the efforts been rightly implemented, but the results are unknown till now. Third one is, during this lockdown, companies' reaction nobody knows, because they could have had previous plans already for 2020, but this lockdown and COVID-19 has influenced a lot, and then there are a lot of turbulence in companies' reactions and plans for next financial year. The fourth is the consumer reaction itself, because they also undergo a lot of information, rumors and insights and false newses, all that. So we may not know how the consumer will respond to various other products and services. The fifth one is, there is no single number which can give you a direct insight. So when we are in confused stage, or where we have a lot of assumptions, we try to Google it, or understand from people, or understand the various aspects to it. But here, if you see to it, there is no single insight or direct insight or factual information related to COVID-19. Having said that, path to recession is real, but it's not a conclusion. It is only a temporary setback for next, I would say, 6 months to 2 years. So that's what the real predictors and industry leaders are talking about. So for next 2 years, this is going to be the situation, and there will be a new norms in terms of jobs and other aspects towards it. So how to handle this? Number one, don't depend more on projections. So whatever you hear from the market or TV news channels and all that, it is all mere projections and it is not facts. So don't get into more number of projections. It may end up in a lot of assumptions and fear and anxiety. Usually these recessions are not structured one. There is no particular model which we follow, or there is a roadmap to follow for any recession. So it is not a structured one. So we need not panic about the kind of recession which we are undergoing right now. Usually the impact is not going to be uniform. So though predictions may say that there are a lot of distress, frustration in the market, and industries are not performing, all that, but it is not a uniform aspect to it. There will be a lot of unstructured ways or lot of other informations which will really delight the audience in next 3 to 6 months also, because a lot of industries will be taking new steps in handling all these areas of panic. The fourth one and the most important one is, during this time we will be facing a lot of emotional distress, like there will be a lot of rejections, there will be a lot of no, there will be a lot of failures, delay, frustrations, everything which we will undergo, no matter whether you are skilled or graduated or anything that kind of a sort, because everybody are undergoing the same situation, same challenges and same scenarios. So see, anybody who is undergoing 5, 6 or 7 emotions together, like a lot of rejections and failures, automatically our mindset is going down, and we don't know how to handle, and we will think that there is no hope at all that kind of stuff. So how to handle this we will cover up at the end of this session. So now COVID-19 and the impact on the jobs of future. So first thing is, full-time jobs will reduce, and this is kind of a gig economy which we'll see in a mainstream adoption. See, gig economy is something where I pay for a particular project. See, today if I have to travel between point A to point B, I don't have to own a car, or I don't have to own a driver. What I have to do is, just like I have to pay for it, and then finish off my assignment and then pay him. So that's going to be the model for next 2 years. So nobody is going to hire a full-time employee or full-time workers and all that. It's going to be largely based on freelancing, work from home, contract workers, those kind of a model will be the impact for at least for next 2 years. Second, remote and digital jobs will be the new norm. So as such, there is extended lockdown, and since there is a lot of flexibility, but still working remote and digital jobs is the new norm, because a lot of companies, being IT companies or ITS companies, they have adopted to this model, and they are about 75% have given remote based jobs. So that's going to be the new norm going forward, so which we have to adopt to it. So again, since it's going to be a freelance kind of job, there will be may not be any full kind of CTC structure, or pay for the kind of experience. All that may not work. The salary or remuneration will be based on the contribution which we contribute to the business as such. The fourth one will be value perception will increase, because it is no longer the title based work. It is no longer the experience based work, right? So it is based on how you are solving the particular problem to a business. It will be based on that, and what value addition you can make to the business, that makes more sense, rather than titles, experience, coming from a branded company that doesn't even bother employment at this moment. So new jobs of different kinds will be created, because as such it is a gig economy. Lot of bifurcation in terms of one particular assignment or one particular project will happen, and new assignments, smaller assignments will be distributed to a lot of freelancers, and then that's how the projects will take in shape and then get finalized because of the deadline and timelines given to the particular assignment. The placement of fitment will be more focused rather than qualifications. So fitment, again, it is depending on whatever qualifications, be it BE or MBA or whatever master graduation, may not be fit, may not be a consideration for employment. It will be more on the technical prospects that you bring into the position, rather than the qualification and other stuff. So the continuous process will be reskilling and e-learning, because the adoptions shall emerge even faster, because whoever is not getting an employment, they do the upskilling and reskilling themselves, and then come to a new employment. Because a lot of people who are experienced itself, they are also got this laid off and job losses, all that. So for the freshers especially, your competitors will not be the freshers also. It will be the competition from the people who have lost their job in layoffs, and who have lost jobs in other reasons, all that. So those people will scale up to the next level by trying and getting certification, upskilling, reskilling, etc., and then try to acquire your job. So that's kind of level of competition we can see in the future for next 2 years. So this is a totally the model or the acceptance level we should understand before going to go for a job opportunities. So fresh graduates will be expected to learn themselves and come prepared. So there is no longer training kind of aspects will be provided by a corporate, because as such hiring is something is very costlier for them. It is a hiring cost. Second thing, they cannot invest in training cost also, because it is again a costing model for them. So it is expected that all the fresh graduates learn themselves through a lot of skill development activities, a lot of learnings, and come to a corporate model where you can plug and pay immediately and contribute from the day one. That is the level of expectations happening from the corporate, because if you are no longer performing for 3 months or 4 months, companies will not retain you. They will start looking for another candidate. So just because you are not skilled and providing timely solutions submission to any of the tasks. So that should be the model. So in this economy, since because it is a gig economy, startups will grow, a lot of entrepreneurs will grow. Those kind of smaller assignments will be the mainstream and all that. So A lot of startups will pick up a lot of service-based assignments and then pick up from various people, mobilize a lot of people, and then start startups, all that. So that kind of a model we are going to see. Next is the to-do list for graduates and upcoming graduates. So here now the scenario is like you have to convince a lot to the employer, because uh, the graduation wise, the knowledge wise and experience wise, it is a very fresh, and there is lack of knowledge in everything. So companies are not prepared for everything, be it in training or training in corporate kind of scenario. So it is expected that you come prepared and convince an employer in a job interview, so that you get all the the options, whatever options you have, you can contribute that and get into job. So the expectations will be like you have to be skilled in more and more certifications. Like 1 or 2 certifications may not be acceptable. Maybe more 5+ more certifications in terms of technical skills. All that will be required. Second thing is, this is a time you have to go for a lot of virtual internships. So internship is something that's very important, where you undergo the first-hand corporate experience before going to a first job. So a lot of internship experience will give you a real insight about the professional working kind of a model, and how the corporate communication happens, and how a corporate behaves with you. All that you can understand during this internship. Third one is professional memberships. Professional membership, in the sense, it is lot towards the technical side, and a lot of networking in terms of LinkedIn and Meetup, and lot of membership where you know about the people a lot, and a lot of professional people you'll get to know. All that you have to make it a point, because that makes a lot of sense, because your connectivity will increase, your level of confidence will increase when you meet with them and then engage with them, all that. Fourth one is LinkedIn networking, because I think a lot of students or graduates are not familiar or not using LinkedIn to the maximum potential. So they have to jump from the behavior of Facebook and Instagram and come to LinkedIn, and then start engaging with a lot of professional people, so that you understand how it works. And as a result, you will get a lot of connectivity to the professional companies and corporate people, so that becomes your result in getting towards it. So spending time more when we are in, if you are in social media, spend more time in LinkedIn and networking, so that you get to know a lot of corporate people, and then try and understand the real insight towards it. Second thing is, focus your energy where you have the highest chances of success. So it is no point that you randomly apply to various job opportunities and end up in failure, right? Rather than you have a proper roadmap, and then fix a proper industry domain, and then have a proper plan to go for a step-by-step model, rather than going and working in a traditional model where everybody are doing the same thing. See, right now the time and technology is moving fast. So it is no longer we can wait and watch the situation. It is time to take care of our own career. So it is not more dependent towards the industry or government or all that kind of stuff. We have to take our own charge for our own employment, and then proactively work on some models where we can end up with successful job landing. So focus on companies whose products and services will be high in demand. So next 5 years, think about the various products and services which will be used with the public, and then try to engage in those kind of industries where the potential is too high. So only if the industry is growing, you can also grow in your career and contribute well and earn a maximum potential. Otherwise, if the industry itself is declining and not performing, or whether the service and products is no longer valid, then there is no point in joining that job and industry, where we will end up with failure. So selection of products and services, and selection of the right company, performing industry, sectors is more important, rather than going for a random applications. Number fourth is there will be chances, there will be scenarios that you have to move from your basic domain to another domain, and you have to pick up from that job. So don't panic about those kind of aspect, because it is applicable for everybody right now. Because lot of people from the mainstream, even from 10 years experience, 15 years experience, they are upskilling towards skills which is required for the business right now. So don't worry about your career ambition or career aspirations towards that. If your industry is not performing, it's only a temporary setback where you have to go to a different kind of a domain in industry and then start performing. And once things are in place, things are performing, then you can shift to your mainstream and then start contributing towards that. So don't think about assumptions that I'm a graduate, I'm an engineer, but I'm going to sales, or I'm a medical professional, I'm going to something like a technical, something like that. Don't worry about that. It is something which is everybody is adopting for their own survival. The fifth one is, this is going to be a remote working style for next 2 years. So you have to adopt yourself to remote working style where more discipline is required in terms of time management right from morning to evening, because you will be working with a lot of people with multiple geographies, multiple culture level of people, multiple language, those kind of even multiple countries you will be working, and even multiple timelines. So even if you are working with IT company with various MNCs, it is obvious you have to work in US shift or Australian shift or UK shift. So remote working style is something which we have to adopt and grow for it, because that is the opportunities which are available right now. Number 6 is upgrade your video conferencing setup, because as such it's going to be a remote working. So we should not give excuses in terms of non-availability of any technical gadgets, be it laptop, be it mic, or be it video conferencing setup, or any other such things which is required for a home-based jobs. Make yourself prepare and buy those kind of products which are required for a home-based job. So if you are giving excuses, then about 10 people, 15 people are waiting to grab that opportunity. So this kind of adoption is required to get prepare ourselves to jump into jobs, rather than taking excuses on various aspects which we don't have. So if you are keeping excuses, it is we are the only person who are delaying our progress. So that's the kind of a model. So now I'll walk you through this 12 industries that are booming due to coronavirus, because as such earlier, we have to go for the industries where their services and products are much more usable and it will be performing. So number one, as said earlier, it's a gig economy. So a lot of assignments, part-time projects, contract-based projects, remote working jobs, all that will pop up. So that industry, which is part and parcel of gig economy, you should contribute and then take in charge of those kind of industry. Second thing is, for last 3 months because of lockdown, the industry which is booming in a vast is e-learning, online coaching, online training, because you yourself could have seen a lot of webinars and training and online coaching, all that, because all the corporate trainers who are not able to do physical training, they are jumping into e-learning model and online training model. So those who are into edutech, education related products and services will definitely move faster, because a lot of people are upskilling and reskilling. So anything related to technical skills or upskilling skills, anything related to online teaching, e-learning industry is completely going for a much larger picture rather than expected. The third one is obvious, all this kind of medical equipments, pharma related medicines, healthcare, it's going to be booming, because right now there are a lot of selling of bulk masks and bulk gloves, sanitizers, all this, with whatever related to COVID, they are start selling in bulk, and that's the replacement for all the major people who are into those kind of services. So people who are into textile industry, they have started producing masks and gloves and all that. And people who are couple of into medical product, they started sanitizers and all that. So those kind of industries which are in real need, so that will grow in a higher pace. Number fourth is food delivery apps, because last 3 4 years it was booming like hell. So right now during this lockdown and all that, and going forward, this is gonna be a major thing, because where a lot of people will be delivering the food on home, and then will start consuming it, because we will be engaged in work from home jobs, and there might be times where we have less time to prepare our foods, and this is going to be the norm for next 2 years, because since it is available, we start ordering, and then these people will maximize their potential to deliver at home to who use this opportunity. The fifth is in-home entertainment, like your Netflix, Disney, like there's a lot of other OTT platforms will start, because entertainment industry is completely in the lockdown, and it will take a lot of time to come back to this normal position. So a lot of malls has been closed, a lot of movie theaters has been closed, and the only option to release movies and other stuff is by home entertainment channels, where these kind of industry will be moving at a faster pace. Number six is again online gaming. Last 5 years, we have seen a lot of improvement in gaming. PUBG, you know that, and a lot of other gamings have been popped up. Since because it is online, the growth will also be a little more faster, because a lot of school kids and college graduates like it a lot, and then they spend a lot of time in online gaming. So new gamings and new methods of game methods, other new variety of gamings will be popping up. So online gaming is one of the booming industry. Softwares, especially online meetings, interviews will happen through softwares like your Zoom, WebEx, all other related to online meetings will be booming in a wide range. And especially a lot of interviews is happening through video conferencing. So there are companies which are producing customized software for online meetings and video conferencing interviews, all that. So those kind of companies will be improved. Number 8 is food supplements, because people are more bothered about health and immunity. So a lot of people will coming up with a new kind of a model where a lot of food supplements will be added to our regular diet, where health is the higher priority right now. Number 9 is data science, where a lot of analytics will happen with multiple industries, and people will try to understand various reasoning and decision making through this data science kind of information, MIS, all that. Number 10 is digital products, because as such, we have to depend on the gadgets part of it, because all the online meetings, interviews, various other things are happening depending on the digital products. So a lot of YouTubers also popped up in last 3 months. For them, the need is it is the mic and gadgets, which is very essential for them. So online products in terms of laptop, anything related to laptop accessories, mics, all that kind of setup which is required for a home-based job, it is definitely going to be booming. 11th one is startups. A lot of service-based startups will be starting up, because there are a lot of larger projects which will be bucketed into smaller projects and will be outsourced to various startups. So startups, freelancers who are planning to go for a startups with multiple people, this is the right time to start to expand your team and then go for a maximum potential. But choosing the right industry, right kind of services and products is very essential at this point in time. So analyze and research or do the market research before you go in for a startup. Like I said, industries and products and services is most important in selecting and going forward working with a startup. Number 12, it is very obvious and very booming for last 10 years. Digital marketing and mobile marketing also, because a lot of people watch and spend time in mobile. So a lot of people will push their products and services in your mobile. So on digital marketing and Facebook ad campaigning on social media, influence will be larger than the other times, because wherever you are, they have to do the marketing efforts. So it's the right platform, and people will be pushing with a lot of services and products, and influence a lot to buy product. And we should be very cautious enough to select products and services which have brand value, and then the experience with the major reviews and all that. So this is the time where we have to watch a lot of Google reviews, or Amazon reviews, like that, for every products and services, so that we are cautious and then buy a product and services. So when we talk about performing industries, we have to also give insight towards declining industries. So when we say declining industries, it is because of lot of dependencies, and not because of the individual component. So these are the industries which are declining just because of it is dependent on either China or other related materials, so that the performance is very very bad. Like first one is the poultry, where a lot of gossip happened because of the rumors happened just because the disease is spreading because of poultry kind of aspects. Second thing is petroleum. So a lot of these things has been in downtrend for last 3 months, because uh, the recent news is almost 55% of manpower has been laid off in lot many petroleum industries, and the hiring freeze is expected, and layoff is also expected for next 6 months to 1 year. So it is a very very cautious industry, and oil and gas is something which is essential, but we are actually dependent on other factors. So it's no longer a better industry to choose from. Third one is automobile and auto dealership, because automobile as such, the manufacturing has its own dependencies on various aspects, because it is dependent on various sub factors and subcontractors, which is the consumer itself is not going for a buying of a car or vehicle at this point in time. Again with auto dealership, because all this dealership which is related to cars and bikes are no longer valid, because nobody's primary priority is to buy a vehicle at this moment. So it's going to be taking a long time, because nobody is choosing the priority right now. The priority is something very very essential needs and essential services, rather than going and buying a vehicle. The fourth one is consumer electronics, all this fridge, TV, washing machine, all that, because that again it depends on the shipping from the various places outside India, and shipping and reaching out to mass retail shops and other things has become complicated. So reaching out to buy a product and those kind of things is very very complicated at this moment, and this is going to be industry which will see a major delay in process. Fifth one, and the very bad influence is with the hotel, tourism, travel, and aviation, because hotel tourism is no longer a priority for the Indians at this moment, and travel and tourism we can't even think about it. And travel again, it is only for the very very essential aspect towards it. So that again, it's going to be very very slow, and there will be delay in progress. Sixth one is real estate. Seventh one is textile, because textile is largely dependent on the dyes and chemicals which is imported from China, and a lot of materials has been imported from China and other places, because in India we don't have the basic raw materials to produce a clothing. So that's what the understanding from the textile industry. So textile industry is largely dependent on various components, various labor market, all that kind of stuff. So in fact, a lot of workers, migrant workers were working in textile field were moved to their native. So textile industries obviously had a lot of challenges in terms of raw materials, number one. Number two is the labor, availability of labor was the second challenge where this industry got shaken. Eighth one is shipping, where shipping has got delayed to various parameters, government rules, lockdown, and all that. So a lot of people in shipping areas have to think over whether to join this kind of industry. Ninth one is solar power. Solar power again dependent on various components, manufacturing components and other components is related to China and other stuff. So it's going to be in the decline stage for next at least 1 or 2 years. So understanding, first thing when we are landing up a job, the understanding towards the right industry and wrong industry should be there so that we don't end up with wrong industry. So this is the insight I want to give it to you so that you choose your better industry, performing industry, so that your next level of process will be easier. So let's move on to the next slide. That is internships. So this internships, especially for the graduates who are undergraduates and even for the people who are currently working. So internship doesn't mean that you have to be a graduate or student. Internship can be taken even by people who are working professionals or who have underwent job losses also. So first of all, why internships are important? Number one, it gives you a first-hand exposure of working in a company, because as a fresher, you may not have that kind of an exposure where working with a lot of multiple experienced people, multiple age group, multiple language. This kind of an experience you may not have in your college or any other model. So this is the first exposure where you deal with a lot of seniors who are hardcore in your industry, hardcore in your domain. Second thing is, it gives you an opportunity to learn more about your goals and expectations in your field of study. So obviously, when you are in your industry and your level of company, you will understand what is the potential of that particular industry, where it is growing, all that, when you start working and contributing to your particular business and industry. Third, it helps you to build a healthy network of professionals which will help you in longer run. So today in schools and colleges, you will be engaging with similar age groups. So there will not be any elevation towards your communication level or any professional habits which you can follow. Rather, when you go and network with other people in the industry, it will be easier for you to understand a healthy habit and healthy networking, where it will help you a lot of aspects in longer run, where you can start getting help with your reference professional networking people and then try and land in a new job. Number four will be, it helps to develop your resume and gives you a belief to companies during interview that you could be a great asset to their company. See, you can mention hardworking and dedication and communication levels, all that you can mention in resume. But there should be some proof to understand whether you are really determined, really completing your task, or really passionate about your job. So this internships will be a proof that you have worked for 3 months or 6 months in a particular company and you have contributed to a larger extent to one particular assignment and understood the business scenario. So this will act as a proof. Second thing is, you can talk a lot during a job interview, because when you compare with other freshers who have not done any internship, they cannot speak anything more after tell me about yourself or any other habits or whatever things. So at least 5-10 minutes they can talk. After that they don't have anything to talk. But whereas when you go with an internship, you can talk what all the challenges you have underwent during this internship period. Even it is a failure, it is only an experience which will give you confidence. See, the problem is why we are getting a fear is because two things. One is when there is lack of knowledge. Second is there is lack of experience. So internship will give you both. One is knowledge, one is experience, which will give you additional confidence, where you yourself will appreciate your level of confidence and communication, because you know lot many things when you are comparing to the other freshers. You can talk a lot on the business or the challenges which you underwent and the kind of team leading you handle with the other people, all that you can talk. Fifth one is it helps you in your transition from working part-time to a full-time job. So as a fresher, you will be a first-hand experience with the part-time kind of a job where you are jumping from a academic kind of time schedule to a job kind of a schedule. So it will be for a lot of students, it is difficult from transition from a student to a full-time job. Rather, when you undergo a internship, you will undergo this kind of experience of working part-time, understand how a corporate functions from morning to evening, and then get to know some experiences on how the things are working, how to report, all that. So once this is getting ready to an industry kind of requirement, you will be full-fledged with the full-time job. Sixth is, if you are lucky, sometimes companies will hire you as the interns if they are impressed by your work. So really speaking, most of the people who are into sales and business development or even into social media, though those who have started in technical contributions like IT, software, all that, they have ended up in full-time jobs because they like their work and like their contribution. And sometimes it is very cost effective for an employer to hire an intern to your full-time job because for them it is very a cost benefit going for a full-time employee rather than hiring and retaining the interns. So that way, if the company is really good, you can get the chances of going for a full-time jobs. So don't miss any kind of a better internships where you have the potential to go for a full-time job. Next, I'll walk you through these top 14 internship platforms where a lot of people has given free internships also and paid internship also, what you call stipend. So the stipend will be very minimal, but don't bother about it. Just select the right kind of a job and right kind of a brand, products and services. But the exposure, what you get is most important. So these are the sites, 14 sites, which you can undergo a lot of internship kind of a jobs. So the number one popular one is Internshala, where you could have seen a lot of job postings for interns. Second is Let's Intern. Third is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a platform where a lot of corporates are posting their jobs. So don't miss out any internship offers in LinkedIn. Number fourth is Glassdoor, where a lot of people give reviews about their current companies and all that. So they also offer these internship postings also. Number fifth is Hello Intern, 2019, Angel List, Oyster Connect, Indian Internship, Intern Lelo, Killer Launch, Make Intern, Youth for Work, and Intern World. So these are the sites, as I said earlier, it is not meant only for the freshers. Even if you are a working professional, start exploring this site, make your portfolio in a better model, start applying to jobs, and there will be a lot of people who will be happy to hire because for them it is a very cost effective solutions. Because for 3,000 rupees, 4,000 rupees, they get people who can complete their task. So for that, even for them, it is a cost benefit and time benefit. And it is a platform to explore your knowledge and expand your skill set and expand your skilled, professional networking. So that way you will be on the field and get the knowledge which is required for a potential job. So don't miss out any kind of internship offers in the branded platforms, which will really give you a lot of openings. So try and explore these kind of platforms, create your profile, well-branded profile, start applying to jobs. Really speaking, there are many openings, but there is no candidates at all. So start exploring new jobs, but especially select the right kind of company where you can end up with a full-time job. So the next one is top skills to learn. So these are the 16 basic requirements for a business at this moment. So as I said earlier, the requirement for a business has been changed. The business has been transformed to a different model. So now the business has to reach out these potential customers to their home. So whatever is needed for that particular scenario, they will adopt to it and recruit people who have skills who can contribute to their business. So the number one is ethical hacking and cyber security, because as such, it might contribute to the business also and as an individual for you also, because ethical hacking is something which is required, because if at all your laptop is not working, your accessories is not working, then you should be in a position to take initiative and troubleshoot everything. Because if you're no longer if you're dependent more on laptop and laptop service centers and all that, then your work in progress will be in delay and there will be a lot of influences in terms of your task submission. So it's better to learn this ethical hacking and cyber security, so that firsthand you solve your problem of laptop related, system related stuffs, and then contribute to the business also, where a lot of people are working through their laptops and softwares. Second thing is anything related to system administration, laptop administration is really going to help on any of the business or individual. Third one is, now everybody is looking at websites, social media. So when social media is landing towards any products and services, it will land only in websites. And website related stuff like HTML, JavaScript, Java, those kind of aspects is really essential. And a lot of people are developing their website to the current scenario, number one. Number two is a lot of people are coming up with new websites. So it is really essential to learn about whatever it is required to build a website and app related softwares. So a lot of people who are startups, they want to jump into this developing apps. So these app related softwares like Android and other stuff, which is it is really required at this moment. When we talk about website, the fourth one is content writing, because any website needs a content, be it explaining about the company profile or services, or anything related to writing blogs or anything related to scripts. Content writing is very essential. It is only a 3 months to 6 months course. You can just learn, and you should have a command or language and grammar, and you are done with that. And even freelancers earn about 20,000 to 30,000 per month based on their costing to the potential clients. So content writing is really booming skill, where if you can learn and upskill yourself, there is a better chance and contribute and for better earning. Next comes the copywriting. See, copywriting is something different from content writing, because copywriting is something which is related to sales, marketing, and branding products and services. See, in all the advertisements which you see, the caption related to products and services, all that, it is a copywriting. So those kind of related copywriting material, you can charge a lot, right? That kind of availability and requirement, and people are badly in need of copywriting, because a lot of people are coming up with a lot of posters to sell their products and services. So every product and every services have to sell their products online. So in posters, we cannot give entire information about a product or services. So it is a copywriter's job to place the right words and at the right placement, so that they sell their products and services. So this is something very essential skill which is required, and in demand skill which is been hired by various companies. And next comes something which is related is social media marketing plus Facebook ad campaigns. So as said, a lot of people who are very junior level entrepreneurs or startups, they have to use their social media at maximum potential, because advertisement cost is very higher. So they have to depend on social media marketing and Facebook ad campaigns. So lot many people may not know how to run a Facebook ad campaign or digital marketing, or influencing in social media. So this is something, a huge skill, which is, if it is performed well and skilled enough, you can contribute and sit and work and home and contribute to a lot of business. The seventh one is virtual assistant or customer support, because a lot of people, a lot of IT companies, ITES companies, they are working from home as a customer support individual or virtual assistant to a leadership profile where they can assist on their MIS or mail checking or anything related to data entry or PowerPoint assistance, or that a virtual assistant can do. Even scheduling interviews or scheduling any kind of meetings, these kind of people can do. And there are a lot of demand in these kind of skills, because it is going to be one of the booming aspect where communication is very very essential. Once you have a good communication in place and good phone, all that, you can quickly end up with this kind of a job. The eighth one is design softwares. It is always in booming, and currently it is booming at its peak. Like all these graphic designers and anything related to design, Photoshop editing, InDesign, Corel Draw, all that, it is in boom. So again, selling in products and services requires a lot of advertisement and marketing. So dependence will be thoroughly on the design softwares, design individuals, graphic designers, and even to the website, the UX UI designers is much of in need. So this upskilling is definitely give you a job immediately after your completion of your softwares. The ninth one is video editing, which is required at this moment because a lot of YouTube channels has been started in last 3 months, and it is growing in a massive way. So a lot of industries from even entertainment and other music industries and even e-learning companies, they have started YouTube channels. So video editing is something very very essential for these YouTube channels, which is a core aspect of any videos. So editing softwares related to video, if you learn and perform and skilled enough, you are recruited, very very immediately. The very booming industries, as you can see, is blockchain, cloud computing, analytical reasoning, artificial intelligence, all that kind of stuff, which is booming for next 5 years. This is going to be the model because it is no longer dependent on human. It is more dependent towards artificial intelligence, analytics for decision making, storage, all that depends only with cloud computing, all that. So all these 4 5 skills is definitely good. It's going to be playing a major role, and upskilling on these areas is definitely fetch you a long-term results. The 15th one is affiliate marketing, where a lot of people want to resell their products to various distributors. Amazon has started already, Flipkart has started already, and there are a lot of people who will start their affiliate marketing process in the upcoming period. So reselling of products or reselling of services will be one of the major aspects where you can use your network to sell those products and then make use of it. 16, and the evergreen is sales, where the sales skill is definitely required for selling any products and services, even in business or even as an individual, you have to sell yourself in interview. So anything related to sales, short-term certification or negotiation aspects, anything related to team handling or leadership, sales requirement or sales skill is definitely a must. So don't, even if you are an engineer or anybody, don't bother about I'm gonna sell about these. I have to go and sell to these people, and I don't have any people skills or that. But it is something very very essential, and if you are learning these skills and influencing people, definitely it's going to help in the longer run, because any which ways one over a period of time you will be going as an individual contributor and then going to a team leader, then jump into a leadership role. So leadership role always, it is based on the sales skills and negotiation skills. So once you understand and skill enough in sales, you will have a better role to perform in the longer run. So when we have to understand the skills which is required, then we have to understand which are all the sites which will teach us this online education sites. So these are the sites where you can make note of it. Some of the sites which will be familiar you will be like Udemy, Coursera, all that. But these are the sites where you can get even free certifications also, 3-month certificates, 6-month certificates, all that. So all this, especially Skillshare and other kind of these platforms will really help you in very, very professional certificates for 3 months, 6 months, where you can upskill quickly and then jump into jobs. The most important aspect which was asked is how to improve English and communication, which is very primary in terms of any particular job, be it non-sales or sales or engineering, whatever job is there. The first contribution or first bifurcation as a recruiter, we give the division. What we segregate is the guys who know better English and guys who doesn't know better English. That's how we segregate. So English communication is very, very important. But I think you yourself could have tried many methods, but still improving. But one such method will be, first one will be listening. Like, you have to consume English to deliver English. The thing is, what problem we face is we invest a lot of time in our mother tongue, be it Hindi or Telugu or Tamil. So we hear many things in our own mother tongue, and we consume the same thing and we deliver the same thing. Rather, you put it in a different way, that you consume a lot of things in English. So that means you have to watch a lot of English interviews, especially celebrity interviews, be it a political interview or movie star interview. You watch how they are delivering their English, how they are speaking, and what kind of words they are using to deliver their communication. So those things you can have to copy and then implement in your daily life, so that you can improvise your English in a better manner, rather than investing a lot of time in your mother tongue. Invest your time in watching a lot of YouTube videos on interviews. Especially interviews will give you more input, because that is a real-time language people will speak during interviews, rather than news channels and other stuff. So watching interviews will be one of the major aspect where you can invest time and then learn about it. Second thing is, start talking to people, even it is very bad grammar or very bad language, all that, because you have to improve your level of English, because that happens only when you start talking on a daily basis. Even if you form one sentence per day, it is good. At the end of 30th day, it will become 30 sentences you will learn. So don't bother about any insulting or any other comments or criticism. Start talking and then improving on a daily basis, so that it becomes a practice for you to over a period of time, and you don't have any fear when you end up in corporate. The third best option is writing down words or expressions you think useful with their meaning and examples. So if you see them in sentences, you will remember them better, and you can use them if you keep a diary. So whichever words which you feel inspired, while reading any material or watching movies, you try to note down that kind of a sentence, and then try to memorize those sentences, and then try talking to that. Right, once when you write things, your memorization becomes more improvement, will be more improved, rather than understanding and talking. So these three combination is required, and quality of investment of time is required for improvement in English, because that is a practice comes by within. So keep on practicing will help in the longer run, rather than giving it a pass and then trying once again. So it should be a daily investment of time, where you have to spend about half an hour to 1 hour on doing all these three combinations, like listening, talking, and writing has to happen on a daily basis, so that you improve on a daily basis, and then over a period of time you can scale up to the next level.